Good morning, fish keepers. Cam here from thefishroom.co.nz. Congratulations, everybody. We've done it again. We've knocked off another week. I'm very proud of everybody. Well done. Let's celebrate with coffee. That is a good coffee, as pretty much always. All right. Like always, if anybody's got any questions, any comments, anything like that, please fire them into the comments and we will answer them as we go. Other than that, I've got a decent sized bunch of notes on my handy dandy notebook, so let's get into it. Good morning, Jackie. How are you doing? So as per normal, we'll just quickly run through our hours. Monday to Friday, 11 to 4:30 is our new operating hours within the shop. We are closed on the weekends and we are closed on public holidays. That means that this week, being Waitangi weekend, we are closed on Monday. Obviously, the website will still be open 24/7, thefishroom.co.nz. The shop itself will be closed. It also, unfortunately, means that all the couriers are not running, so everything we pushed back a day. So instead of getting things out on Monday like I normally would, things will have to go out on Tuesday. Plant orders will be a day behind like they were this week because of the regional holidays. But that's the only differences. Plant orders got out this week fine, and it'll be the same next week, just a little bit behind schedule, unfortunately. Totally out of my control. I can't do anything about it. Just a little bit of a forward warning. Good morning, Brian. How are you, buddy? Okay, so this week we got some more fish in. Pretty excited about some of them. So we got some festivum cichlids. Haven't had them in ever before into the shop. Personally had them before. They are stunning fish, sort of mid to top dwelling fish. A real funky looking shape. I wouldn't call them community fish, but if you're kind of building up a slightly more aggressive or a slightly more robust type aquarium, they are an absolute brilliant piece for that. So if you've got that kind of setup, definitely look into them because they are stupidly cool fish. Once we've had them for a couple of days, I'll do a video on them and maybe put up a few posts on the internet, that kind of thing, to give you an idea what they look like if you haven't seen them before. They are very, very cool. Ellie's Trips to Eco Style 61. I'll write that down and I'll let you know. So, 61 LED. I was just talking about the festivum cichlids. Yeah, very cool fish. Very, very cool. We also got some really nice looking clown loaches in. Sometimes clown loaches come in, they're a little bit weird looking, heads are a little bit wider than the body, which is never a good sign. The ones we got in are absolutely chunky monkeys. They're looking phenomenally good. I'm really, really confident, really happy that we have no issues with them. Sometimes clown loaches get stressed a bit easy, get a bit of white spot. Sometimes not super healthy when they come in kind of thing, but these guys look phenomenal. So hopefully in 2 weeks' time they're still cranking along, not like the last lot that we got. And they're good to go. But from first accounts, they all look absolutely beautiful, really big, really chunky, really healthy. So they should be good to go in a couple of weeks. So I'm really happy with how they came in. We've got some Oase Tetras. Again, first time for them. Got a really beautiful red colour, quite a funky looking shape as well. They are a little bit nippy. They do best in a group. But if that's kind of what you're looking for, a little bit of red in your tank, they're another really good option. Good morning, Gary. How are you doing, buddy? We've also got some cobalt blue gouramis in, some males. They look phenomenal as well. I'm really happy how they came in. Really good size and just full noise as far as colour goes. A little bit more fiery than some of the other dwarf gouramis, but they are very, very colourful and absolute showstopper centerpiece type of fish. And I was also really excited about getting some zebra danios. I know that might sound weird because they're just zebra danios, but they're becoming quite hard to get hold of. So I finally found a supplier of them. So a couple of weeks with them in here, they'll get a nice good size. They're full activity. They don't stop moving. They're really, really cool fish. So like I said, they're getting a bit hard to get hold of. There's probably people that are holding zebra danios. I reckon it'd be a really good idea. There's a whole bunch of people that are holding zebra danios and leopard danios as well, and just trying to spawn them so we don't lose them, because from my understanding they're not going to be imported anymore. So what we've got is what we've got. So if you do have zebra danios or you do have leopard danios, begin spawning them, keep the numbers up, otherwise you'll end up going the way of the celestial pearl danio and there'll be pretty much none available, which we don't want because they are very cool little fish. So if you do have some of those, get into breeding them, spawn them, get some good numbers going and start pushing them around the countryside so we don't lose them, which would be fantastic. So that's what we got in this week. Last week we got on some other fish as well. So we've got some Ember Tetras, which is a really good size, and they've already got their lovely Ember colour on them. We sell a lot of Ember Tetras, and rightly so. That's sweet little fish to go in little nano tanks. We've got some absolutely phenomenal guppies in. I'll be doing a video of them early next week. Seriously, they are some of the nicest guppies that I think I've ever seen. They're only males. Unfortunately, there's no female to pair up with them, but man, they are stunning. So if you're a guppy keeper, just keep your eyes open because they're going to go really, really fast, like ridiculously fast. I've got some sparking gouramis that will come in a really good size as well. They're devouring brine shrimp every other day. Putting some nice size on them. They're looking really good. They're really stable. I'm really happy with the sparking gouramis. And we've got some green fire tetras because a few people that are after them. And also we have some red honey gouramis, and they are phenomenal as well. They're not quite as full noise as the cobalt gouramis as far as coloration, but they are a really nice red colour. Really easy going from the time that I've had them. I haven't had any issues with them. Again, they're devouring food like nobody's business, and they are really, really cool. So something a little bit different. The red honey gouramis, well and truly worthwhile, worth having a look. And we also put some gold honey gouramis available on our website earlier this morning as well, because I just remembered that I had them. So they are also looking really nice. So that's what we've got as far as the new fish that have come in over the last week or two. One lot will be ready next week. The week after will be the other ones that come through. So definitely got some nice fish coming through, ready to go. We have started our Fish of the Month segment. So this month we are showcasing the silver tip tetra. A really beautiful fish, and they're full responsive. They literally do not stop. I quite often find myself just looking over at the fish rack, and they're just going the entire day. So what you don't get for like your bright colour, like you would for say your cardinal tetras, for example, you get full activity. They get to a good size, and they just don't stop, and they're super responsive. They know when you're coming to feed them, and they're right there. They're probably the equivalent of like a wet pet, but in a really small version of them. Super cool fish. Go really good in the school. Really placid. They don't, worry about any other fish that's hanging around. It's just all about what they do. They're stupidly cool fish. So if you're looking for something with a bit of activity, wanting a bit of flash going through your aquarium, the silver tips are well and truly worthwhile. No worries, Mandy. Glad that everything arrived nice and swiftly, and I'm happy that your fish are happy. Also, with the Fish of the Month, we are doing the Plant of the Month as well. We're going to do that again. So, again, with the Fish of the Month, Plant of the Month, every month, at the start of each month, we're going to change the fish or the plant that we're talking about. We're going to post about them, blog about them, probably do a couple of videos or a video or two about them, and just sort of showcase them a little bit. So this month, we're doing the Anubias Nana. And, of course, we're going to put both the fish and the plant on special for the month. So we've got the Anubias Nana, or Nana, depending on how you want to say it. They've come in very, very healthy. They're very, very good condition. They're a little bit small, sort of 2 to 4 leaves on them. Unfortunately, I don't control that side of it. I would like if there's a couple more, but I can't sort of do anything about that. But the quality of them is phenomenal. They are a very dark green. They look almost pristine condition. They're definitely a really good buy as far as the quality goes at the moment. It's Anubias Nana. So if you haven't had it before, it grows along wood and rock and that sort of stuff. It's not advised to plant it in the substrate, but if you do decide you want it in your substrate, do not bury the rhizome. That will begin to rot the plant. If you do put it on top of the substrate, it will creep along like it does on your wood or what have you. It's a very, very slow growing plant, a ridiculously slow growing plant, but it is so pretty, it's not funny. So it's a very nice plant. One of my favourites. I'm a massive fan of the Anubias range or Anubias family. But yeah, the Nana is a very nice plant. So get amongst that if you're looking for some new plants for your aquarium. Just cross off some things. And while we're talking about that, we've got a couple of pots of red pine in that look phenomenal as well. They're really big, really butty. There's lots of stems in them. So there's only 2 or 3 left in stock. So the next order or 2 that comes in for pots of red pine will be flying out with some very, very nice big pots. So worth your while if you're looking for some red pine. So we've had a wee restock of a few things this week. We've got the 2-hour Aquarist range back in stock. So all the fertilizers and the algicide fix. We've had it since before Christmas, so we've got that back in. There's a lot of people that have been asking us for that, so if you're after some of that, jump on. It's ready to go on the website now already, so you can grab that, remember, with free shipping and all that kind of stuff. We've also had a bit of a stock up of some of the Seeking range, so the Flourish, Prime, Stability, just your basics when it comes to that. Root tabs, Purigen. That's pretty much it. So again, very popular products. The fertilizers are pretty good. They definitely do what they need to do on the bottle. So we've had a restock up of that as well. So if you're looking for some of them, they're good to go. All up to the 2-litre range of Flourish and XL as well, which sell pretty well. I know a lot of people like to buy them in 2 litres because it's a bit of value, so we've got some of them as well. So if you're looking for that, we are good to go. Very soon we're going to rip open an Oase Biomaster. I've got sitting beside me. I'm not sure how that's going to work with the whole camera and opening up a fairly large box, but that's what we're going to pull apart this week. So if there is anything that you want opened, we talk about, check it out, open the box, see what's in it, all that kind of stuff, please just let me know in the comments and we'll set that up for next week. Otherwise, I'll just randomly pick something off the shelf, we'll crack it open, we'll give it a go. But if there's something in particular you guys are wanting to have a look at, that's what we can do. But before we get into opening up the box, I'm just going to run through some of the specials that we've got for this week, this month, sorry. So we've got the Rapashi Community Plus, all sizes of that is available. We've got that on special for the week, for the month. We also have the Eheim Skim 350. This is a little gadget that I use in our planted tank here. It's amazing for cleaning up duckweed. If you've got initial duckweed, it will devour it in no time. It's also really good for getting off little bits of leaves and stems that are sort of snapped off or been bitten off by fish and that kind of stuff. So it is a really good gadget. Like I said, it's one that we use in the planted tank here. I love it and I wouldn't be without it. So Fluval 300 watts. Last time I looked, they were not available at the supplier's end. So I'm bound to be emailing the rep this today or sometime early next week. So once I do, I'll ask them about that and see how they're going with that. And another wee product that we've got as far as sales go this month, far out, man, must be Friday. It's the Fluval hang on back breeding boxes. We sell a lot of these, and I believe it's for a good reason. Water goes in, water comes out, so it's getting fresh water circulating in for your fry on a regular basis, which makes the water conditions for them a lot healthier, which in turn means that they will live a lot better. I'm not a big breeder myself, so I haven't really played with one because I don't breed fish. But for the amount of these that we sell, it tells me they're a really good product. So if you are a fish breeder, give these a go. See how they go, let me know. Okay. So that's all of that stuff now. Let us try and rip into one of these boxes. Right, so I'll show you the box to start with. So this is what we're going to be cracking open. So it's the Biomass 600. We don't sell these ones anymore. We've taken these off our shelves. I didn't realise at the time, but they had an issue with creating an airlock, which then in turn created a suction and having the air being released out of the pipes and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't aware at the time, so we've decided to take the 600 off the shelf. I've just got this one still here that hasn't been returned yet. But the 850s and the other ones below that are all been fine. It's just this particular model. I don't know why. It just does it, and they haven't worked out why to stop it. So we've got this one, so we can crack it open. So let's see how we go. I wonder if I put it on my chair. How this goes. So put it on the tape. Right. So it comes. Yeah, I've had really good reports from everybody else that's bought anything that's not been a 600. This box. So they come with a box of gadgets, box of bits and pieces, working the right way. So we've got all our pipes, pieces to go into the tank. This piece here is used if you want to put the heater on top of the tank. More bits to go to create the flow, and then the filter itself. So we can remove the box now. Let's have a wee look. So they do feel like they're made by a really nice, good plastic. And a massive advantage is they've got a handle, which is ridiculously cool. Most canisters don't have a handle for you to move them around, so it's a really nice little add-on. The top here, this is where the pre-filter goes. You basically twist them out. As the water comes in, it gets filtered via this. So instead of having to turn your canister filter off all the time and open it up, you just take the pre-filter out, clean the sponges out, put it back in, and away you go. This little spot here is where you put your heater. So you can run it without a heater, just leave it like that. Or that piece that I showed you before, you unscrew this, put your heater in, you slide it down, and then screw the other piece in, it reseals it back on again. And so now you've got a heater inside your canister filter, which is very, very handy. What else we got? These are release valves, obviously, help you release them. To open up the top. These clips are very, very sturdy feeling. And they sound very sturdy when you clip them open. You can't do anything with them while the handle's down, so it's got to be up, which is a nice little safety feature. You might not be able to see it there, but you can see it. There's a little clip there. Doesn't do anything while it's down, so you've got to have it up. Looking at the sticker, we are looking at 22 watts. That's not too bad for a big size canister filter. Again, with filters, looking at power consumption is important. It's running 24 hours a day. It's saying that that's important. You're going to continue to use your power up over and over and again. So looking for a canister that runs on a lower power consumption is always helpful. And as Michelle said, they're very silent inside that box. There's little rubber feet that go on the bottom here to make it even quieter. So let's crack open the top, So as we can see here, that's where your heater goes into, and where your pre-filter, your pre-filter goes into, and then your heater goes into that slot there into the canister where the water is. So you do have to be careful when you're putting it in and out, not to kind of damage this, damage that, you might get in a bit of trouble. But literally lifting it straight up and down, and you're good to go. So it comes with all the media that you require. So 1 basket, 2 baskets, 3 baskets, 4 baskets, 5 baskets, 6 baskets. So it looks like it's very similar to a K1 media, your biological filtration. Plastic balls, they go into those 2 trays there. They sit at the bottom. And you work your way along, got your coarse sponges, your blue ones, quite thick. So you got 3 trays of sponge. I like so far that I haven't seen any carbon, which is always handy because carbon seems to be a bit of a waste for most of the time. And then our top one, which is a slightly finer one, getting your particles. Of course, you can modify your filter in any which way you please. You might not want to have 3 things of sponge. You might want to have more biological filtration. You might want to put some Purigen in there. All sorts of options you can play with, but that is the gist of what is inside this canister filter. I have got one of these exact models running in the corner of the shop at the moment on the plant tank. I definitely noticed a significantly clearer aquarium using it. I cannot hear it. I can hear the water breaking the surface, and that's about it. So, but yeah, the 600 model does seem to suck air, like we were saying, which is why we've taken them off our website. That's, as far as the filter goes, it's really good. Other than that, so the other models don't have that issue. It's just the 600. So in here we've got duckbills, we've got spray bars, plenty of hosing. So everything that you need inside for a canister filter to run. It's really neatly packaged, which is nice. With your elbows, intake screens, everything you need. So yeah, they are definitely a nice unit. How would I rate them against other types? I think they're designed for people with planted aquariums. I think that's kind of their niche. That's where they're working in towards. So I think if you're running something like a 1,000 litre big monster tank, I don't think they're they'll do the job, but I don't think they're going to do the job that you kind of need them to do. I think you'd be better off with like an FX6, for example, which I am a massive fan of, I might add as well. For a general community tank, for a general planter tank, I think they're really good. I really like the added features that some of the other companies don't have. You know, the inbuilt heater, the pre-filter, the fact that it's got a handle, which I think is huge. I really like that. I've used a couple of Eheim Classics. I've had a few of them in my time, and I did like them. I always got frustrated at the setup of the baskets and how you went to clean them. I don't think this is going to be any different. There's no sort of pull them all out in one go type of thing that I've noticed. It seems to take them all out individually, which is a little bit frustrating. I think there was a way of, like these have got little handles here. If somehow that clipped all the way down, you just pick them up by the handles and the whole lot come out. I think that would be amazing, but I don't think there's a lot of canister cookers that do that. I know, again, the FX6 does. From memory, you can pull the whole sleeve out of the middle, which is brilliant. So I think if they did that, it would definitely be a bonus. I haven't compared them side by side, so I'm only working on my memory of the Eheims again, which I did like. I did find them a little bit frustrating to clean out. They're definitely quiet. They're definitely good as far as power consumption goes. And obviously, I've been looking at this tank that we've been using on it for now since just before Christmas, I think it was. And it's definitely made a massive difference in the clarity of the water. There's no particles being sucked up, so it's definitely working well. I think just for the bonus features alone, having your heater out of the aquarium, which is huge, is essentially like having a sump. But your sump, you can put your heater into it, so it just takes a piece of hardware up. So I think as far as that goes, I think extra bonuses that come with it put it a step above the likes of your standard Eheims and your standard Fluvals. Essentially, a filter is a filter. As long as it draws the water, cleans the water, puts it back in, it's doing its job. And that goes for all of them. Obviously, like the lights of the Sierra UVCs, they come with the UV lights, so they've got the little bonus there, which Eheims, general Eheim Classics don't. Your Fluval 3 Series and 4 Series stuff like that don't have them as well. But at the end of the day, as long as the pump pumps the water, draws it into it, cleans the water, it's doing its job. So I think I'd put them slightly ahead, and that's only because of the extra features that they have. All of them do the job. As long as you've got them on the right size aquarium for the right size filter, you're going to clean your water really well. The fact that it's got 5 or 6 baskets in it, and you can modify that so you can put as much biological load in there as you want, I think that's pretty big. They are a pretty good sized bucket, so they do tend to have a decent volume of filtration ability. But of course, there's some of this that's been taken out, so they're a little bit higher because they've taken this out, which means I guess that's where they've got to get the balance to be able to get your filtration back into it. Overall, my time with them, I've been really happy with them. I did consider bringing one home and putting it onto my dual aquarium, but I just couldn't be bothered modifying everything, so I haven't done that at this point. I would put them only just above the Eheims. They'd be up there with the FX6s. Again, I'm a big fan of the FX6 for the right application. I like some of the gadgetry that are on the FX6. Again, a bit of gadgetry on these Oases, which is I probably think why I like them a little bit more. It's not just a basket with a pump in and out. So that's my thoughts on them. They're definitely very quiet, which I have really enjoyed. That's my thoughts on them. I definitely think they're worthwhile giving it a go. If I set up just a glass tank, I would probably be playing around with one of these, the glass planted tank sort of thing. Again, if I was going for a big monster tank, I would be probably not playing with them. African cichlids, I think they probably work as they should work, but I might, depending on the size tank, stick with an FX6 just because I know they do some good things. But then again, in saying that, having the pre-filter with the African cichlids might be handy as well. They are quite messy fish. Having the pre-filter for a pleco tank would probably be quite handy as well. Makes life a little bit easier. So, that's just my thoughts on them so far with the brief time that I've had them. What we got here? I'm playing with live plants for the first, doing a tank more for the kids, looking for outright guppies for them to run a tank. Stock itself. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Lots of bright, colourful guppies, a couple of males, a few females, and you'll be able to definitely populate itself. Platies would be another really good option. Platies are very, very colourful fish. I really like platies. I'm a massive fan of them. very hardy, very easygoing. I think personally they're a little bit nicer than guppies, a little bit cheaper as well. I think you get a lot more fish out of them, but that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, lots of green plants, and I could see that going really well. Sounds like a good plan. Definitely keep us updated on that. Okay, so that's all that I've got in my book today. We've pulled apart the box off open. How do we play with that? So if there's anything anybody else wants us to open up next week, I'm more than happy to do that. We'll have a look around that. Give you guys a good idea of what's going on. So if you've got any suggestions. Yes, we do ship livestock. We send Monday through Thursday through the South Island and Monday through Wednesday to the North Island. Just a little bit dubious sending on Thursday to the North Island. South Island is pretty much 99% to 100% guaranteed to be delivered that day. North Island, not quite the same. So we cut off the livestock sending on Wednesday each week for the North Island. So yeah, we do that, and all of the fish we've got available is on our website, thefishroom.co.nz. So yeah. All right, I'm going to go, team. I have got plenty more to go. We've got an action-packed month coming up. I didn't mention earlier, but we've got the Aotearoa Lakes group coming with us to talk to us in about 3 weeks' time on one of these, which I'm really excited about. So we've got to get working on some decent questions for them. So yeah. All right, team, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Happy fish keeping. Catch you later.